under fading skies. Tattered flags waving dreams in our eyes. The crowds roar like a storm on the wind. We're the underdogs fighting again.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good evening and welcome to the biggest little soccer podcast on the internet. It is Stateside Footy, and of course, I'm your host, Steve, the uncle. Yep, the terrific uncle. It is pre-match build-up time. The United States will face the mighty Bosnia and Herzegovina tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, from the Bay Area in Northern California. And listen. This is going to be a fantastic show because, like me, I know all of you guys out there are absolutely fired up. It is another edition of the U.S. men's national team, this time not rotated. We are going to see a lot of fireworks tomorrow. We are going to get into I guess you can say, the tactics of it. We're going to get into the night starting lineups for both squads. And listen. We're just going to have some fun tonight. Quick reminder for all those that are tuning in to make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell as we have rounded 500. We are looking to get to 1,000 by the end of World Cup 2026. So do me a favor, show the channel some love, and hook a brother up. Hook up your favorite uncle. All right. Let's go ahead and get into something. Because earlier today, word broke that there is a certain U.S. men's national team striker that is gaining some interest in the Premier League, and of course, I'm talking about Flo Balogun. And word came out that my beloved Tottenham Hotspur are making it a priority. They have targeted Balogun. As you know, Spurs are in desperate need of a striker. When you look at his goal scoring pedigree in Ligue 1, 20 goal score season this season. A 20 goal campaign this season across all competitions, including the Champions League. Listen, he has certainly grown into a person that is going to have interest when you just look at the profile in the way that he plays the position for a guy that is literally just going, who is literally going for about 50 to 55 million euros. It is an absolute steal. Now, I understand there's some trepidation. From Tottenham Hotspur fans because, number one, he's coming from Ligue 1. I understand it. You're coming from Monaco. Understand it completely. The other thing is the Arsenal connection. And of course, before Flo Balogun joined Monaco, he was property of the Gunners. And for some Spurs fans, not me included, this is kind of like a no-go. Me personally, I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit if he has Arsenal ties, especially if he comes to Spurs and he absolutely demolishes Arsenal. I could care less, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is whether or not the respect is going to be given. And of course, respect in today's modern football is all about dollars and cents. And if the dollars are right, it makes sense to a guy like Flo Balogun, and especially if he can parlay this World Cup performance and parlay that back into the Premier League. I don't think he's really going to care if he goes to Arsenal's big rival. But it would be an absolute, me personally, I look at this as a very good fit, especially when you look at the way that he attacks channels, the way that he actually just plays the position. It is something that would be a net positive for Spurs. And again, he's in his prime. The next 4 years on a 4-year contract, you're getting his prime years. So you're going to be getting the most productive years of his career. And when you look at the fact that he's put together a couple 20 goal seasons across all comps, it looks like he's starting to come into his own as a player, and it makes perfect sense for Spurs. Listen, this is the next logical step for him to go back into the Premier League. So I hope it happens. I absolutely hope it happens. Obviously today, in case you didn't pay attention, Spurs really kind of made fireworks today by spending $85 million to bring in Mateus Fernandez. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it feels like Spurs have crossed that line and are now going to be a team that is going to be willing to be competitive. And I hope that equals Flo Balogun. All right. So we have seen some interesting results so far in the round of 32. Germany goes packing. And of course, it is Paraguay that packs their suitcases. And listen, the interesting thing is that it was Paraguay that did it, a team that we absolutely demolished 4-1 in the group stages. But again, it always goes back to, it's not necessarily how you start. It's all about how you build into the tournament. And this also could have been a combination of a few different things. It was Germany potentially overlooked Paraguay, which certainly could easily be a reason for it. But also, maybe just Germany just isn't really all that good anymore. And, considering where they were and considering where they are now, maybe you guys felt like this might have been a little bit of an upset. Okay. But in correlation to the U.S. men's national team, it just goes to show you that you can't play that game of, well, we beat them, so the next logical thing is that we're awesome. No, I mean, we're going to be just fine. In relation to this one of the best things that could have happened for the U.S. was that Turkey A game, because one of the things that I personally don't like is the maybe getting a little bit too big for your britches. And with the U.S. fans, I think there are some that are kind of at that point. Me personally, I take it on a game-to-game basis because, again, it's not how you start, it's how you grow into the tournament. And one of the things that I liked about it was, even in heavy rotation, we were still competitive down to the last minute of that match. We nearly pulled out a result with arguably our B team, but it also gave this team an opportunity to kind of reflect on the bigger picture. Yes, it could have been something that would have been brilliant. Not only would we have won the group and we would have got 9 points for the first time, but it also would have meant that we would have won 3 matches in a World Cup, which is a first in our modern history. That's going to have to wait until tomorrow. But what it also did was it was also a reminder that we cannot put the cart before the horse. We have to be able to continue to play the role of the underdog. We have to continue to be humble in the way that we approach opponents, and also understand when you're looking at the fact that the Netherlands goes down, Germany goes down, and we've seen some interesting some interesting matches. Your World Cup can end just out of a blink of an eye if you're not careful. And for me, that's what tomorrow is all about. This cannot be something where we're going like, I like the arrogance. I love American arrogance. Trust me, I really do. I'm American, and I like the fact that when we step onto the pitch, it's like our dicks have already been there for 5 minutes, right? Like we're the biggest dude in the room. I like that. But at the same time, this is also a team, if you're not careful, that we can also get punched in the gut as quick as possible if we're not careful. But outside of that, there is no area on the pitch that Bosnia is better than us. And I'll say that again. There is not one area of the pitch that Bosnia is better than us, and there's not going to be an area where they're going to be able to get overloads or get advantages. This is going to be a situation where it's not how we're going to react to Bosnia, it's how Bosnia is going to react to us. Because we're going to continue to play the exact same game that we've always done, which is every single time that they have to touch the ball, we are going to press high, and we're going to make them beat us. And if they don't have the ability to move the ball through the center of the park, it is going to be long ball after long ball after long ball. Now, one of the things that is going to be interesting is it's going to be off that left side for Bosnia. And let's go ahead and get into Bosnia's starting 11 that I have. And in goal, I have Vasilij, who has been the starter all the way through. A back line of Malic, Kadic, Raduljic, Kolasanic. And then this is where I actually like Bosnia. It's their midfield. It is the outside mid on the right side of Baratovic and Alej Begovic. And of course, Alej Begovic had a very good game against Qatar. Again, it's Qatar. You still can read something into it, but he was a pest. He was a pest coming off that left side. And so the question is how is that going to look like? Because and again, it's going to be an if Bosnia cannot move that ball through the center parts and trying to link up from the back to the front, it is going to be long balls down the left and long balls down the right. And the question really is Jedi Robinson versus Alej Begovic. Excuse me. Serginho Dest against Alej Begovic. And also the combination play between Dest and Alex Freeman off that right side. The ability to step into space because you're going to have two dudes sitting on top of the 18-yard box. So you're probably thinking a combination of Tyler Adams and potentially Malik Tillman or Weston McKennie protecting that 18-yard line. And then also Chris Richards as well, too. Stepping up and taking away essentially the dominant foot of Alej Begovic. But then also off the right-hand side with Bajraktarovic. There it is, Bajraktarovic versus Jedi Robinson off on that side as well too. And it's going to be the same. It's like, do these midfielders have the balls to step up and play? Go 1v1 against two of our best outside backs. But then also, it's also the inverse as well too, because we are going to try to press the hell out of them, and we are going to try to create high turnovers. And the question is off that, do we have the firepower to do what we do best? And that is literally dominate the first 15, get the first goal, and by halftime, Bosnia has been put to the sword. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. By the way, the midfield pairing of Suncic and Hussein Basic, solid midfield. And then, of course, their strike partnership up top which is Demirovic and Zheko. And of course, Demirovic is absolutely fantastic. And that is where, if we're not careful, the question is whether or not one of those two have the wherewithal to blow up our back line. Because let's be perfectly honest, we have a tendency to leak goals when it's inopportune. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what, number one, is how much are they going to want to attack? Is this going to be a situation where they're going to give the U.S. 60% of the possession? And that means we're going to have to be able to break them down. Or is this going to be a type of situation where they're going to take advantage? They're going to take advantage, take long balls, or and just try to get forward and get numbers forward quickly. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how this is going to play out. There's a little bit of a mystique surrounding the way that Bosnia is going to attack the U.S. They're capable. But again, there's not one area of the pitch that they're going to be able to dominate us. Not one area at all. But that being said, they got to the round of 32 for a reason. Because, they're not mugs. Speaking of the United States, starting 11 for tomorrow. In goal will be Freeze. Yeah. Arlos Gonzo. Yeah, I know. USA scared. NGL. Yeah, okay. So in goal, obviously, it's going to be the starter Matt Freese. Last game, Matt Turner was in net as this team rotated 10. The back three is going to be Alex Freeman off the right, Chris Richards through the middle, Tim Ream off the left, who's going to be wearing the captain's armband. A midfield four with two outside backs of Anthony Robinson and Serginho Dest. A midfield pairing of Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams. Underneath Flo Balogun will be Christian Pulisic and Malik Tillman. And then up top is going to be Flo Balogun. And at that stage, this is the very best that the U.S. has to offer. And I think two things were true in that match against Turkey. That number one, this team does have a B-side to it. And we saw that B-side nearly pull out a result. The other thing that is true is that our A squad, our first team, is capable of beating anyone on their day. Anyone on their day. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to do it. Doesn't mean that we're going to do it, but it's capable because we have the firepower. We have the firepower to hang. But it's going to start with what we do best, which is press high, create turnovers, move the ball quickly, get into position, attack channels, and it starts off that left side with Christian Pulisic. And the ability to use him as a decoy, the ability to have him go 1v1 against defenders, create so many goddamn openings for this team that everyone's starting to look good because of it. Serginho Dest is looking good because of it. Malik Tillman, even though he hasn't really been my favorite, he's also started to look good. Weston McKennie has looked incredible. Flo Balogun is scoring goals. And the question is that I have for you out there is, how is Bosnia going to stop it? Yeah, how are they going to stop it? Now, I understand the European mindset when it comes to this, because we haven't beat a UEFA side in quite some time. I get it. But if this were, for instance, let's just say that we were playing the Netherlands instead of Bosnia, you guys actually might have a claim to it, because that is actually a worthy opponent. but it's Bosnia. And yeah, okay, great. They stopped Italy from qualifying. I don't care. Italy is a terrible team. And that kind of shows you how low not Bosnia, but Italy has sunk. They can't get past Bosnia. And this is no disrespect to Bosnia, by the way. They have some nice pieces that I respect. I absolutely respect some of their pieces. But that being said, you're going up against a tactician, a very good tactician that knows how to take away pieces. Maurizio Pochettino knows exactly how to do it. When you're finding success in the Premier League like he has, you know how to isolate and make sure that certain pieces don't beat you. And he's had a week to prepare. And that's why I'm looking at this like, you know, in the round of 16, it gets a little it gets a little deeper, because we have to face either Belgium or Senegal in the round of 16, which is not going to be an easy hurdle to clear. And they provide more firepower, they provide more weapons than Bosnia is going to throw at us. And by the way, this is going to be a very good test for that. Everything is an opportunity and everything is a test. That is the mindset with this team. They want to do two things. They want to take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of them, but they also want to continue to do what they do successfully, which is put the game away by half. They did it against Paraguay, they did it against Australia, and they scored within the first 3 minutes against Turkey. It's dominate that first 20 minutes. And they've been able to successfully do it. And that is going to be the key for Bosnia, is how do you stop it? Is it literally just sit 10 behind the ball? You know, we've seen teams try to park the bus unsuccessfully against teams that know how to unlock it. The U.S. can unlock it. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I didn't do it against Turkey. Don't give me the excuse. Whatever. What's up, Adrian? Hope you're doing well. I'm glad England are not in the same side of the draw as the same side of the draw as France. Yeah, you know what's funny is I caught the tail end of that match with France, and they're probably the best team in the tournament. Not probably, they are. Let's see. It will be a good match. We will see sometimes. It's about luck. Greetings from Bosnia. Greetings. Hope you're doing well. Where in Bosnia are you from? It is Miralem Krudic. Let's see. Do you think we can beat Belgium? I do think we can beat Belgium. I do indeed think we can beat Belgium. Number one, because of the familiarity. We just played them a month and a half ago. The interesting thing, though, is that I look at Belgium as that litmus test, because we have demons we need to exercise against Belgium. 2014 round of 16. A match in which Tim Howard probably had the greatest game ever by a U.S. keeper. We had our opportunities, didn't take them. And then, of course, recently we just played them. There's this thing about Belgium that, for me, to get to the quarterfinals, it would be absolutely sweet if we took care of Belgium in the process. That would be fantastic. And that is the level, and that's the hurdle that we have to clear. Because we've beaten Portugal in a World Cup. We've beaten Ghana in a World Cup. You know, we've had incredible friendly victories over some big nations, but we haven't done it in a while. And it's something that kind of bugs me, because I look at this team and I see the talent on this team. And the fact that they play against some of the best players in the world, on a weekly basis with their club teams, there's no fear. There's no fear about facing them, right? It's not like we're going to sit there in awe. We're going to be in awe taking the pitch against them. That's not how this team rolls. But it is the ability to show up on your day. And let's be perfectly honest, right? This team has been largely disappointing for the last year. Outside of a couple decent windows in the fall of 2025, this team has literally been, it's been mid when it comes to its friendly results. I mean, you can say that the Gold Cup was successful-ish. We got to a final, didn't get it over the line. We had a disappointing Nations League, and we had a disappointing Copa America the year before. This has really just been a cycle of doom for this team, but the saving grace is the fact that we showed up to the World Cup, and we showed up in a big way. And what I liked about it was that it united this country behind this national team. Like, we haven't seen that. Like, we haven't really seen this since 2010. This type of level of excitement. We've always had, when it comes to the World Cup, we've always had very good support from fans, but because it's a home World Cup and we have this level of unity behind this team, I don't know, man. It makes me want to believe even more. Adrian goes on to says Mbappe versus Messi for the Golden Boot as top goal scorer. Yeah. Because Messi's going to continue. Mbappe is just that dude. One thing that I will say is that I'd like to see Flo Balogun go off in this game as well, too. I'd like to see a 2-goal performance from Balogun. That would be unbelievable. Let's see. Liam Talks. No one is stopping Kane and Bellingham. Yeah, maybe. That's a good one, too. I'm a Dubros. I don't know what that says, man. How do we get Messi on Team USA? You kidnap him. Andrew says Harry Kane is washed. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. That's great, man. That's great. Harry Kane is washed. Barcelona are trying to get him, but okay. By the way, if Harry Kane was linked to an MLS club or an MLS franchise, yeah, okay. You might say something along those lines, but come on, man. It's funny. It's funny with these. It's funny. No, he's not for Barca. As a matter of fact, I actually hope he comes back and finishes out his career in a Spurs shirt. Kane couldn't hack it in the mission. Okay. We got to troll, folks. All right. So what is the appropriate scoreline for tomorrow? What is it that you guys want to see? Because as far as I'm concerned, winning by 2 goals is appropriate. Yeah. Winning by 2 goals is 100% appropriate for this team. Me personally, could I envision a scoreline like we saw against Paraguay? Yeah. Because I don't think this U.S. team is going to be nervy at all for the knockout rounds. As a matter of fact, I think this team is fired up. I think this team has the utmost confidence in their abilities to go out there and get a result. This team is not lacking on confidence. If anything, it's probably the other way around. Because I can honestly say that nobody had Bosnia and Herzegovina on their bingo card getting out of the group. I don't think so. And by the way, if the U.S. played Mexico, the U.S. would absolutely demolish Mexico. If the game was played in the United States. See what I did there? Yeah. So, because it's going to be interesting. The only shot, this is what I will say. The only shot that Bosnia has is if they can keep the U.S. scoreless in the first 25 minutes. If they can stop the U.S. from grabbing that first goal within the first 20 minutes and finding a way to drag this team into deep water, where you're talking like a second half goal wins it, somewhere in the 70th minute. And then we hold on. That would be ideal. That would be the only way that that Bosnia has an opportunity. If they can hold the U.S. scoreless from the jump. Because if the U.S. get running, and understand that has been the secret sauce to this U.S. team. Nobody has run more in the group stage than the U.S. men's national team. That is, look it up. That is a fact. This team is running to the whistle. This team is getting to every single 50-50 challenge. They're not afraid to mix it up. This team is absolutely running its tits off for its coach. And because of it, they are creating opportunity. And it's something that you wonder how Bosnia is going to be able to slow them down. Because that is the key, is making this team look slow. Clogging up the middle, making the U.S. look one-dimensional. I don't think they can do it. The U.S. can just throw unbelievable talent from any direction. If they try to overload Pulisic, he can either break through two defenders, or he can beat his man around the corner. And you're going to have to deal with the likes of Balogun, essentially camped in channels, running through, or Serginho Dest cutting in off the right in the box. Weston McKennie coming in late. There's just, we have too many weapons that are going to be hard for this team to mark. But yeah, that's the thing. John says it right here. That's the beauty of the game. 100%. That's the beauty of the game. I don't think the U.S. is missing passion at all. If you saw the 2 wins, there's plenty of goddamn passion. Let's see. Yes, we're not strong. Okay, fair enough. I like that. We are not strong in the middle at the moment, but we do have a good defense and strikers. That's accurate. That's 100% accurate. And and by the way, and I appreciate the comment from Miralem Kurdic. I shouted you out earlier, and that's my biggest issue. That's my biggest issue is you have a strike partnership with Demirovic and Dzeko, who's wearing the captain's armband, by the way. That does create problems. That does absolutely create problems. And that's where I'm a little worried because, again, we still have Tim Ream in our back three. Now, granted, I'll give Tim Ream credit. You have to give him credit because he's actually played well in this World Cup. And same thing with Chris Richards. They've been good. And same thing with Alex Freeman, man. This back three has not been terrible. They have actually been a little bit more surprising than I gave them credit for. Very much so. But that being said, when you have two guys that have a tendency to create issues for a back line, it makes you you kind of have to respect those guys. Let's see. Main issue isn't our starters; it's the bench that has me worried. Fair. And who gave me this one? It is Baraka Gisharu. Okay. Let's see. Savage City Cinema. Do you think Brendan Aronson should be starting for USA? Maybe I'm a little bit biased. He's a lead supporter. No. Because let me ask you a question real quick. And be honest, because you're a lead supporter, and I know that there's emotion with it, right? But the reality is, if Leeds went out and improved that right side where Brendan plays, would you be upset? And I'm not suggesting they're doing that, right? Because I think Brendan actually had a very good season last year with Leeds, and he proved that he can hang. But it is one thing to consolidate, to stay in the Premier League. It's another thing to push yourself up the table, to potentially try to get yourself either a cup or maybe put yourself in a conference or Europa League. And in order to do that, you're going to need goals. You're going to need goals from both sides, including up top. And one of the things that I will say is, like, Brendan's great, man. He's a hustle. He's a hustle guy, man. He is a spark plug, and I love Brendan Aronson. But one of the things that he didn't do was score enough goals from that right side. I think he's great coming off Leeds' bench, and I think he can certainly play. But who are you taking him out for? For instance, are you going to bench Malik Tillman for Brendan Aronson? Probably not. Are you going to bench Weston McKennie for Brendan Aronson? Probably not. And that's the point. It's realistically, there's really no spot for Brendan to take that is going to make this starting 11 better. And that's not disrespect towards Brendan. It's just the reality. We have better players. And when we saw Brendan play, against Turkey, he was kind of invisible in that match. Like, I'm not going to lie. It was, the hustle is there, but it's that clinical touch that's needed. That is going to separate, and it's going to be you're going to be able to play your teammate onto the ball, or put yourself in a situation where you're going to be goal dangerous. And that's just not Brendan Aronson. By the way, he certainly deserved to make the team. Yo, are you American? What do you think, bud? Let's say the USA play against a side like Brazil, England, Spain, Portugal. How will they play? Well, we know how we play against England. We play incredibly well against England. They've never beaten us. But it's kind of interesting, though, right? We haven't beaten Portugal in a World Cup since 2002. We haven't beaten Spain since 2009. And we haven't beaten Brazil since like the 90s. So it would be interesting. What I will say is this. We would give any one of those teams a game. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to win. It just means that we're not going to roll over, and they're sure as hell not going to blow us out. And that's the interesting thing. It's like people just assume that we're going to play 10 behind the ball and we're going to park the bus and be like a counterattacking team. And, a team like Brazil, England, Spain, or Portugal would have like 60%. Like that's not Mauricio Pochettino's U.S. men's national team. By the way, like if we still had Greg Berhalter, that's 100% how we would play. If we had Bob Bradley, Jurgen Klinsmann, Bruce Arena, that's probably how we would play. But not Mauricio Pochettino. He is going to continue to play the way that we always play, which is we're going to be playing rock and roll football. We are going to press high, and we are going to try to maintain a semblance of consistency. And that's just the way it is. And if we lose, we lose. It will be a tactical fight. There'll be a lot of change in formation if results are 0-0, penalties probably. You talking about tomorrow? I don't think tomorrow's going to penalties. Am I going to be watching the Mexico game? No, I'm going to be taping the. I'm going to be recording the Mexico game. I work tomorrow, so I'll end up watching Mexico Ecuador tomorrow afternoon. I think our first challenge would be in the quarters. Yeah, simply no 19. I actually do agree with that as well too. Yeah, I think that we're going to see a 3-1, a 3-0, 3-1 against Bosnia. Scores are going to be Christian's going to get his first goal against Bosnia. Balogun will probably score, and who knows. And yeah, like I think it's going to end up being that type of match. Let's see who will win, Mexico or Ecuador. I actually have Ecuador moving on. Am I hate watching Mexico? No. Yeah, but I actually have this one 3-1. It's funny. It's funny the European trolls. It's kind of funny though. Let's see. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's the beauty of the World Cup, right? This has happened routinely over the last couple of World Cups where big name teams go out early, whether it's getting grouped or whether it's going out at the first hurdle. I was a little surprised that the Netherlands drew Morocco, but you know, that's how good that group was, that Morocco was in. Germany was fool's gold. Japan, see, that was the interesting thing. Japan, Brazil, that was like one of my favorite matches of the round of 32 because Japan is so disciplined and they're so well organized that against a team like Brazil, it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that they would lose. Like that was going to be, to me, I thought that was going to be a very, a very entertaining match. It's just, it's the World Cup. Yeah, I know that they play in an hour, except I'm not going to stay up to watch it. I'm going to record it. I got to be up early tomorrow. Just me, Gareth. Debating the U.S.'s World Cup chances and the best starting 11. Now, oh, here we go. That's it. Okay, I got you. I believe that we can win. Yeah, I do too. Since when does an American opinion matter? Oh, okay, that's fine. Do you think the U.S. has a chance to beat France? No. Alejandro Garcia, Mexico. Mexico. Love it. See, that's a great question. Do you think we have a better chance with Belgium or Senegal? Probably Belgium. Senegal is a scary team to me, man. That's a scary team. Score prediction for Mexico game, 2-1 Ecuador. I actually think we match up a little bit better against Belgium. Greetings from let's just better team win and have fun together after. Yeah, I agree. That sounds good to me. I actually think France is better than Argentina. Yeah. But first things first, it's Bosnia. It's Bosnia. And it's funny that, the European trolls here on TikTok, are throwing out stupid, ignorant comments like 4-0 Bosnia, whatever the case may be. Understanding that they know exactly what they're looking at, but their hate for the U.S. is so deep and so ingrained that they will never allow themselves to be like, you know what, this is a mismatch. This is an absolute mismatch. Because they know. They know. And that's the thing. It's like there's nothing that Bosnia is going to throw that we haven't already seen in CONCACAF. Seriously. we have teams in CONCACAF that play just like Bosnia and are probably going to try to do the exact same things. That the profiles are similar and understand that strength versus strength, they're going to have to pick and choose when they get forward, and they're going to have to make it count. But overall, the wave of pressure that the United States is going to throw at them, they're going to have to be on point. They're going to have to be on point and damn near play a perfect game to beat us. Like that is the reality. And again, this is no disrespect to Bosnia. If we were playing, for instance, if we were playing Belgium, my score prediction would be something like 2-1. And that can go either way. But with this one, it's like I've sat here for the last like 3 days and I rewatched, 2 of Bosnia's games. And it's like, from a non-biased eye, I'm just like, they do some nice things. But they're going to have to do it multiple times in order to get over. And they're just not going to be able to do it because we also can hit on the counter and we have more weapons to do it. And so the only chance is if you can stop us from scoring in the first 20 minutes and don't allow us to get momentum, then yeah, maybe you have an opportunity to take it to the second half. But if we score in the first 10 minutes, it's over. Be honest, how far do you think the 3 host nations will go? I think Canada goes out in the next round. I think Mexico goes out tonight. And the U.S. will go out against Spain in the quarterfinals. Let's just take it one half the time. Anything can happen in this tournament. True. But we're not facing a European giant. We're just not. Let's just kind of get that out of the way. Yeah, and by the way, that also could happen too. We could also go out to either Senegal or Belgium. But of the two, we match up better against Belgium. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's funny. Bosnia, man. Bosnia. Like, come on, man. The same people were saying the exact same thing when we were facing Paraguay. And then the goalpost shifts too. Well, it was only just Paraguay and Australia. Yeah, but you guys were the same. You guys were the same dudes that were saying that we were gonna get rolled against those two teams. So you can just literally just say it, and it's all good with me. It's not going to affect me one way or another. You can literally just say you hate the United States, and I would actually have more respect for you if you did it. Let's see. Who do I got? Mexico, Ecuador. I got Ecuador. Is this a golden generation for the United States? 100%. 100%. Yeah. Will France win the World Cup? Probably. Yeah. Shout out to the soccer moms. I love it. Yeah, I do have Ecuador. Ecuador is such a very good defensive team. And the funny thing is the only thing that Mexico has going for them is the fact they're playing in Mexico. It's not that great of a roster. And as soon as somebody applies pressure, to Mexico, they're going to crumble. Cabo Verde to beat Argentina. What? I'm English, and I could even see you causing us some real problems. It's our turn this afternoon. Yeah, the interesting thing, though, is that there has been many times where the U.S. matched up against England in a World Cup where England just simply had the better team. Nobody was under the illusion that we were going to beat England. But that being said, it's like we were able to do we were able to be organized. We were able to play with intensity, and we managed 4 draws. You know what I mean? It's like in most cases, let's be perfectly honest. Like, in those matches, England shot themselves in the foot by not taking advantage of the opportunities that were given. That 2002 match in the group stages. I mean, Luke Shaw had that free kick right there as time was expiring. Harry Kane was essentially left unmarked, and he pushed it wide. So the way I look at it, it's the U.S. is certainly not afraid of England. And if for whatever reason, if some magical run happened where we faced England in the semifinal, that would be fire. I would absolutely love it. Let's see. How do you feel that we can perform in penalties? I don't know, because we really haven't seen it. You think Mbappe for Ballon d'Or? There you go. That's Bosnia's golden generation too. That's cool. That's cool. But is their golden generation position by position? Is their golden generation better than ours? We got a Champions League winner in our starting 11. So, I don't know. Ecuador. Who is my favorite striker in this World Cup? Ooh. That's a great question. That's a really good question. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, that's a really good question. You got me on that one. Ooh. Very good question. Probably. Ooh. I don't know, man. I've always been an Erling Haaland dude, but great question. I'm also a Harry Kane guy too. Ooh. I'm actually happy, by the way, that Sweden went out today, because I'm not a fan of Victor Gyökeres or Isak. Man, they didn't play well at all, did they? Mbappe, oh, Jesus. Like, that team is so goddamn good, man. That team is so goddamn good. France is just unreal. Hmm. Yeah, it's interesting, though. It's interesting. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me, guys. Tomorrow's score 3-1 United States. And we move on. And I'm actually going to say that it's not going to be against Belgium. I think Senegal's probably going to handle their business. But 3-1 tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow's live stream will be here on the channel. So please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell if you guys are watching it on TikTok Live. The link is in the description. But it is going to be a 3-1 victory tomorrow, a 2-1 victory over Senegal, a 2-1 victory over Spain, and a 5-0 victory over England, and we're going to the final. I'm just playing. You guys take care. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. It's been fun as usual. Take care, guys. Good night.
Rusted goalposts under fading skies. Tattered flags waving dreams in our